Usually the community will gladly tell you like, hey, these are the manga I want to see licensed, but typically, or at least not always, they won't always share, hey, these are the out of print manga that I would love to see relicensed, reprinted. But today, that's exactly what we're doing. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. So excited to be continuing my video series of Journey Through Time, where we are focusing, spotlighting, giving some attention to out of print series, some retro shoujo manga, and I'm very excited for today, though I realized for my prompt that I had in my head, because I was thinking like, hey, it'd be fun to feature some underrated gem series that are out of print and whatnot, like I said, but the problem is I haven't read these to say if that's true. So I'm sort of basing off of what these are the out of print manga I would love to see make a comeback in the upcoming years, because we did talk about last Wednesday of like, if you're like me and you haven't really read any out of print manga or classic shoujo manga, that here are some manga that are making a comeback in 2026 and have even made a comeback in 2025. It was really exciting. I truly hope you enjoyed it. And so yeah, these titles, the chances right now might be on the slim down low side, and I was hoping, as I was saying before, I really wanted to feature From Far Away, because this is an out of print series. I'm desperate to see it get that Red River treatment that Viz gave, to Red River. Like, please, I love this series so much, so dearly. Have a video review on this channel, and I definitely feel like it is rightfully deserved to be on this list. I feel like it is underrated. I mean, I believe you can, no, it's not on the Viz app. I bought the ebooks digitally and then filled in the gaps with some expensive volumes. Yeah. So now I'm hoping that the rest that will just get a 3-in-1 treatment. That would be something to bring this back. I would love it to see it. It's a very precious and wonderful story, but it's the only one out of my list today that I've read, and I'm like, well, this is a little bit awkward, but I wanted to at least feature it here. Please go read it. Check it out. It is wonderful. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I guess jumping right in, let's talk about some out of print manga that needs to make a comeback as well, and just, I think they're good. I mean, if I could read them. With number one being Swan. This feels like the OG classic shoujo sports manga. I mean, I know there's others, like Crimson Hero definitely just came to mind as I said that, but when I think of like older titles, this was published by CMX. It's not even fully completed in English. I believe it's a 21 volume series, but we only got 15 like physically printed in English. Yeah, it was CMX. Okay, I had to make sure. But oh man, this seems so amazing. I've seen art of it online of people sharing like, man, Swan is incredible. It is about a young woman who wants to be a ballerina, and I guess there are hurdles and struggles that she has to face to become that, because I think I got the impression that at the beginning she just has more of this passion. She might be labeled as a mediocre, that hurts my heart, I don't even know the girl and I'm already hurting saying that, but she is definitely not at the top of her class, so to speak. And so through this series you get to see her grow and achieve that dream as a ballerina. I didn't even know that there apparently is a prequel or a sequel. There's something tied to this series, and I didn't even know that existed. Definitely does not exist in English, unfortunately, but I didn't even think to like look up different pages I've seen randomly online. Usually they're on Twitter, and I have not actually read a ballerina series, so this would be a first for me in that sense. And I just have really felt recently, let's see, I have read Girl Crush right over here, which is a sports shoujo manga about becoming a K-pop star, I guess you could say, so singing and dancing. And then recently I read volume 2 of Blade Girl, which was a digital only, and then Kodansha has been physically printing it through their print club. There has been something so beautiful and special about these series. I deeply love Haikyuu, and I really feel like Haikyuu really introduced my love for the sports manga genre, or sports genre in general. There is nothing that has been like Haikyuu. I love it. It is the bar for me. But reading shoujo sports manga specifically has really been, I'm not going to say hitting an itch or scratching an itch or whatever. It's just been different, but like in the best of ways. I have really enjoyed it a lot. I don't know exactly what the difference is outside of like demographics, but I do feel like there's something special when you can find that sports shoujo manga and be able to dive into it. I feel like maybe that's something I should personally look into to see like what is hitting different, because in both series, Blade Girl and Girl Crush, rush. There is no romance. So I can't say that the lack of romance I've seen in other sports manga, sports shonen manga specifically that I've read, that the lack of romance is the thing that's missing, because it's not. I've appreciated how it's done, of how I'm able to get invested in these stories without the romance. So bringing that back to Swan, I have no doubts I would deeply love this series. I truly believe it'd be something I would feel emotionally connected with, despite, again, not knowing anything about being a ballerina. I mean, I had a friend that was into it when I was really little, but my knowledge is little. And I definitely appreciate when you read these sports titles that they offer insight into whatever sport they're doing, which, you know, again, would be ballet. I love that very deeply, and it's part of why I think that the genre is such an incredible thing. And so top that with some really incredible art. Yeah, I would be hook, line, and sinker. Definitely think it's underrated. I feel like it probably would be very popular if it had a reprint, because the art seems fantastic. And I feel like that for a lot of people, that is a big, I mean, it's big in manga in general. We like pretty art, but I definitely feel like that is a pivotal thing when it comes to sports manga, because you really, especially if you're not familiar with the sport it's about, you need that creator, that art to bring it to life for you, where you can plainly see the movements that is happening on page, even if you can't see it with your real eyes, like I'm seeing a real person. Hopefully that makes sense. So yes, please, I would just love it. I would love to be able to read Swan for the very first time. I feel like that would be incredible, and would be spamming about it all the time of how good it is, because shoujo sports manga is highly underrated all in itself. For number 2, y'all hear me out on this. Hear me out. This is a wild card, I feel like, out of anything that I have on this list today. Though I have a bingo game coming at the end of this video if you want to see what other wild cards are on there. But y'all, okay, I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna see what I'm saying. Alice in the Country of Hearts, White Rabbit, and some afternoon tea. Yeah, this maybe not be as old as Swan, but it is definitely out of print. I love the Alice in the Country of Hearts series. I have tried several of the other spin-offs. In fact, I had to get one of them. It's a standalone. That's the March Hare's Revolution. Yes, because March Hare Elliot, he is my best boy. He's my favorite in this series. Maybe number 2 would be Ace. I'm not sure. I haven't read a lot of spin-offs that I've enjoyed with Ace. But here's the thing. When you read the original series, which I do have a video review of, I laugh because I was late on that hype train, but I love it. Anyway, yeah, when I read that series, I really, really enjoyed it. And the one character I did not like was Peter White. And I'm like, to have a spin-off that is purely dedicated to Peter White having a romance with Alice? I need to see this with my own eyes. I don't feel it can work. I don't feel it can win me over by any means. And this is like the one Alice in the Country of Hearts spinoff that I cannot find for a good, decent price. Like, I think the cheapest volume, or the cheapest price I've seen for this volume, because it's not even fully printed or finished getting published in English. I think it's 2 volumes, but only volume 1 got printed, but I'm like, that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind that it didn't get finished in English, but I'm like, if I could just see what this is, because I think it said that there was like a series of games that could allow her to go, back to her own world if she wins. And when you read the series, Peter White is very possessive. He does not want Alice to leave this world that she has come to. He will do anything and everything. Like, he will be pushing them boundaries. Honestly, he'd be like, what boundaries are there? Like, oh my goodness, Peter White. So I just did not like him in the main series at all. Even in several of the spin-offs, like I think in not this March Hare spinoff I have, but in a different one, I do think that they were trying to make Peter White be the other part of the love triangle, and I was honestly shocked. I'm like, you don't stand a chance as a mafia, Elliot. No, you don't stand a chance, buddy. But I need to see it. This is why I want this to get reprinted. Honestly, I feel like out of any of the titles I'm probably talking about today, this would be the one that would be at the bottom of the barrel, because I feel like that time has come, gone, and passed. And it's not probably gonna make a comeback ever in the way I want. I mean, it'd be cool if it did. It would be really cool if it did. But yeah, if I could just find a used volume, I guess maybe I don't know if it'd be like an underrated gem. It's more of an underrated curiosity that I just don't see anybody in the community talk about. I mean, there's plenty of posts that I have found talking about their favorites, but Peter White is never on these lists. These people that are fans of him are hiding, which is okay. I would be interested to talk to them though and see, like, has anybody read this? and what made you become a fan? Like, I want to know that for myself. So fulfill my curiosity and somebody bring it back. Just do a brief reprint of a run so I can try this, please. For number 3, the one I think has the most potential though to get an actual reprint would be Kodocha. I would love to see this get some special treatment. I honestly feel like out of all of these, it's the one I know the least about. And honestly, I remember what made it go on my radar. I was rereading the blurb and I feel like because we have a delinquent as the male lead, I think that's what originally I was like, oh, he seems like he's a little bit delinquent. He's causing some trouble. I'm like, I'll be seated for this. I would like to see more of this because the main female lead, I believe is that, they say the daughter? Yeah, that she's a spoiled 11-year-old TV star. Not really sure of the shenanigans that unfold, but it seems like a really engaging story to me. And I just love the cover too as well. I love the font that they have. I just think it's cute. And I believe it's also a romance. And I do follow somebody who I feel like is the biggest fan of this series. I love seeing their posts. They did like little quizzes on Twitter for a long time. I haven't seen any recently pop up. And I know this one does have an anime as well, but I haven't watched it mainly because I'm being stubborn and I want to be able to read it. I definitely feel like this fits though for the underrated gem. I truly believe that people that have read this, that have talked about it, that they are big fans of it. I don't really know if there is like a comparison I could give, but it just feels like a fun story to me. And it's another one I'm hoping that we see a licensed rescue of. Like I could definitely see like 7 Seas picking it up or even Yen Press. Really loving how this year has had those licensed rescues and just reprints of series we never imagined that we would get. So hopefully by the end of the year, we will also see this one. I'm sorry I don't have much more to say on this. I feel like the delinquent vibe is what got me. I didn't even realize until filming. I was like, Laura, was that really what made you interested? And then I saw the other things and I said, oh, because it says she's used to gain her way, add a handful of ruthless bullies, some humorous twists, and a plastic toy hammer, and you've got the recipe for one crazy story. I said, okay, I'm seated, I'm here, I want to know more, and I have actually looked into trying to get this series, and I've definitely seen random volumes for an affordable price, under $10 or less. But the problem is like that sounds really good to be able to find a volume under $10, but then you'll have like that one random volume that's like $100. There's not really a balance here that's happening, and so I have not read it, but man, I feel like this is another one I would really enjoy, especially when I've heard people talk about it. I haven't really seen much of the art. I've seen more of the anime, not necessarily clips, but screenshots. I've seen more of that. It seems another one that's up my alley, but again, I can't really say if it's true because it's out of print and I can't find it for a good price and be able to read it and share how true this is. For number 4, I was so excited that somebody recently brought this up and reminded me like this is on my list for out of print series that I would love to be able to give a chance, especially because this one feels very underrated in that I don't know many people who have read it, but the people who have read it talk about how much they love it, and that is VB Rose. This seems to be about it's more of a fashion manga is what I feel like it is, because something happens and the female lead gets somehow looped up. I think she like accidentally messes up this wedding dress somehow, and she gets looped into helping because she is a handbag creator. And I was reading a friend's review actually this morning on Goodreads who had read it, and when she was talking about wedding dresses and getting that behind the scenes look, I was captivated. I honestly remember when Right Stuff was around and they had like their, oh goodness, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was like the bargain section, and I remember them having volumes of this listed, and I remember being so on the fence because I'm like, I don't know, and I didn't realize it was an out of print series at that time. Like that's how far long ago it was, and me not really understanding like, okay, there's out of print manga, out of stock manga, and new manga. I just thought, okay, well, for whatever reason, they just don't have all the manga titles listed or all the manga volumes listed, excuse me. I so wish that I could go prompt past me. You should at least get the first volume and check it out, see what you think. I have not looked recently in a long time to see how easy or hard this is to find. I think this is like a 14 volume series, I think it is, but this is another one, though it was published by Tokyo Pop, that did not get completed in English because Tokyo Pop went under. I think they said there's either 2 or 3 volumes that were left before the series would have been officially wrapped up. And I'm like, that is so painful, man. That is so painful. But the thing is sometimes when you hear about this of like a series like Swan, for example, that it doesn't get completed in English. And people are like, ooh, it didn't get completed. No. But even for Swan and VB Rose, people have said it is still worth collecting. And I feel like that speaks a lot that somebody is willing to put their money towards a series they know they will never be able to finish in English, or at least, hopefully, maybe if they were published and get new editions that they could complete it in a different edition. But for that original set of manga that ran by that original publisher, they won't. And because I definitely feel like that turns off a lot of people, myself included, but when I've seen how highly praised of when I do happen to see any praise for VV Rose, because again, it's like I hardly ever see anybody talk about it, but when people do, they say it's really good, and I really, really love it. Actually, I've never looked in to see if my library has it. You know what? Let's pause this video and let's see. Update, they do not have it. So I'm afraid to look at any used listings. I'm trying to get through my TBR for 30 and 30 that Shay Geeks Out is hosting right now, so we're not gonna look. We're not gonna look, Self. But yeah, I was really happy to see that friends really love this, and I feel that's a really unique kind of premise for a story talking about wedding dresses. I mean, even the main female lead being a handbag creator, like that in itself is really unique. And maybe unintentionally, I sort of have a little bit of a theme here, because for number 5, I am saying gals. Oh my goodness. I would love, 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 love to see this get printed, get a new edition, reprinted, something, anything. In fact, a friend of mine was selling I guess it was like an extra set that they had, but they didn't have all of the volumes, and the temptation to get it was overwhelming. This series seemed so much fun. And honestly, what drew it to me first was the fashion, the different art pages I've seen of colored pages. It seems right up my alley. Oh my goodness. I love it. From what I know, because I honestly don't know a lot about this one. I know it's about 3 young girls, and basically they are causing a bunch of shenanigans, because I think one of maybe it's the main character out of the trio, she is the daughter of a police officer. Her family has police officers. So it's sort of like she shouldn't be running. My official says she shouldn't be out there running around doing crazy things. The thing that had me interested, I remember, is they're all Gairus. And I said yes when I found out that this was, I don't want to say like a trope. I don't necessarily want to say that. I mean, like, yes, it can be a trope, but I love Gairu characters. I think they are so much fun. I believe it was because of this series that I found out what a Gairu is. And ever since then, I'm always on the lookout for a Gairu character in manga, because again, I think they're so much fun. And so ultimately this series, I believe it's a slice of life, definitely lots of comedy. I think it does have some romance, because I follow the creators, and there was at one point that I even bought a spin-off when they're older and they're adults. It just didn't feel the same because I didn't know the original content. I was so bummed. I mean, I don't regret buying it, but man, oh my gosh, to read it physically, it would be everything. I really feel like this is another underrated gem. And shout out to the person who commented on my community post this past week saying, hey, there's an anime, and left me the link. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it's by it was an official thing. So it wasn't like going to third parties or anything. I need to watch it. I feel like that may be the only way right now that I'm able to take in this series. Even, I feel like, you know, I must have forgotten that there was an anime, because I think I remember seeing a screenshot taken or like a clip in somebody's video, but I didn't really associate that was gals until I saw the whole playlist of the anime. And you know what? I might just do that. I just might do that, because this series seems right up my alley in so many ways. The fun fashion, the Gairu, the toughness of the main female lead, them causing shenanigans, the slice of life, everything about it just makes me really excited and speaks to my heart. It speaks to my heart. I wish it wasn't underrated. I don't remember how I found out about it. I just remember seeing it one day and thinking, man, that cover looks super cute. This looks super fun. You know, no, I think what it was is when somebody was doing like their manga collection video, I think that's when I heard about it for the first time. The spines were not pretty by any means, but they must have talked about it, and that's what made me interested and wanting to know more about it. And ever since, it has been on my radar. I've definitely looked into volumes, and there's just no cheap way to get this at all. I wish out of print series was not a thing. Like, I wish we had them, but I wish there'd be like a magical way to snap your fingers like, oh, you could just buy a brand new book from whatever this release. Like, genius. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. But yeah, these series, I feel like they're all underrated, and I definitely feel I would love them if I could read them. But you know, maybe there are some series that you have read and you're like, hey, I love retro manga, and you have had the wonderful chance to able to buy them or check them out from your library, or you were there when they were releasing physically as they were coming out, which would be so incredibly cool. I have a bingo board just for you where you can go and mark on here what manga have you read. See if you can get a bingo. I cannot. I cannot. I actually added Land of the Blindfolded and From Far Away In so that I too can mark the bingo board. Maybe that's cheating. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for admitting that. But yeah, come play. Tag me online. I'll have a link down below. Also have in my community post so that you can mark it as you would like and share it, tag me, or just, you know, do it privately. That works too. And let me know, what are some out-of-print manga you would love to be able to read that you think, man, this is right up my alley. If only I could find it or it would get republished. I would love to know. Come expand my license wish list. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!